Good day and welcome back to another DBZ dokkan battle video. I'm going to be going through the Lord Slug and the Goku EZA area. So the first thing we're going to just take a look at is the Extreme Z area for this Lord Slug and this Goku unit. In terms of the area difficulty, I would say it's not too difficult at all. It's got quite a few free-to-play options, but you obviously have to put a bit of work to get them. So definitely kind of work on that while you can. The Lord Slug is one of the units, Brown Battle Krillin is one of the units. You get that Int Gohan, you can get that obviously the Kaioken Goku, and then the Nail is a pretty rare drop. But the Piccolo is not too bad, and the Lord Slug Sai is not too bad. So it's still quite difficult. It's 2 stages. It's Z hard and super difficulty, so 4 stones for that and everything from there. And then obviously you can take a look at the units and what they awaken into, but we'll kind of do a separate video on that, or take a more in-depth look at that later. In terms of where you get the units from for the EZA area, they are free-to-play units. They come from the Lord Slug event, and if you go here, you can see that the Lord Slug drops from stage 2, the Goku drops from stage 4, and the Metal drop from stage 5 and 6 respectively. You're going to need in total 19 copies of Lord Slug and 19 copies of Goku, and you're going to need 40 medals of each. So that you can do the full awakening and get the free SA 15 upgrade by having another unit that's at SA 5 that you train into them. So I've run the event all the way through, and I'll kind of just show you my last run of each stage, and then I'll show you them getting awakened and go through them there. So they give you this Piccolo unit. He's an all types lead. You can also have a Piccolo unit if you want. So if you have him, I would suggest using him. And there's this Krillin, but for me, this is kind of what I went with. I ran the Nail because I have him, and I used him as a Namekian lead, so I just basically relied on my Namekians from putting in a whole bunch of the work. So we'll just go in there. You can see I'm just grabbing the rainbow orbs. Obviously, as you all know, in the first stage, the items on the left hand side will be the bronze medals, and on the silver on the right hand, and then in the second stage, or the super hard, it will be gold medals on the left hand side and rainbow medals on the right hand side. We've got a pretty rocking Lord Slug track, by the way. Let me know how you feel about the whole OST original game soundtrack in the video playing in the background. But yeah, basically this event wasn't too hard. Even the units that aren't under the additional Namekian lead don't get hit to the point where you're going to insta-die, which is kind of the main point. The Namekian ones will do the heavy lifting and the whole workload and everything there, especially the Lord Slug unit, and then obviously the Nail there that I have, which is kind of doing the brunt force of the leader skill. So we can see Lord Slug takes 56k. We'll go do some decent damage back. So Goku and Lord Slug have the same team builds, so there's nothing like different between them at all. Just obviously that Goku is strength type, and this Lord Slug unit that you'll face in this stage is tech type. So we got the giant form skill from the side Lord Slug. This is probably the most helpful skill that he will kind of ever have, because as a unit he's not really great. We'll do a video of him linking with the tech one, because they share a whole bunch of links. We can see how they perform from there. But yeah, I mean, not too difficult a stage really. You can see I've got a whole bunch of link levels from kind of running in the Namekian team for the units and everything, and getting all the medals and everything. But yeah, so that's the Lord Slug one done. Nothing too crazy. Literally 2 minutes and 2 seconds. That'll be all his medals done. The only problem I found with these EZA areas, honestly, because I don't mind EZA areas, especially since it seems like they're mainly used for free-to-play units. But yeah, my main issue with EZA areas is the stamina cost. I don't think it should be the same stamina cost as a challenge stage or a dokkan stage or anything like that. I know they're probably giving us something to use our stamina on daily, but with link leveling and all that sort of stuff, there's no need. So we get lucky, we get the giant form right off the bat here, so we're going to do some decent damage to Goku, which will kind of just set us up to finish this event pretty quickly. So yeah, sorry about my nose, a little bit of sinus today. But yeah, in terms of the units, definitely think that Lord Slug is probably the better unit in terms of utility. Goku's not really needed on his typing or his categories that much, and Goku is quite limited by his team builds to get that full passive. But yeah, so Lord Slug's gonna clear up this event nice and quickly for us, which is great, and then we're going to go from there and take a look at the units. I'll awaken them. I've pre-prepared the SA5 units that will be added in. So yeah, we'll just go straight from here and awaken the units. Nice, easy, pretty straightforward, simple. Nothing too crazy. I mean, you can get link levels, I guess, with the high stamina that's running for this easier area, but I don't know. I just kind of wish it was a bit cheaper so I could focus on other things with my stamina. Because the stones and rewards and that drop down, I mean, it lets them do more units at once, and I prefer the awakenings more than the stones. I don't buy stones, but I still prefer the awakenings more because it just, I think, gives a lot more options to team building and just helping players play the game. So yeah, we'll see. I just finished the last missions there. The missions, by the way, are not anything too crazy. They literally just finish each stage 10 times, so nothing wild there on any front. We'll do Goku first. We'll just awaken him. So Goku, like I said, a little bit more limited than the Lord Slug, mainly just because he's just not really needed in any of his teams, or he doesn't really fit with the teams. So yeah, we'll get him to 140. We'll give him the SA 10 to 15 upgrade. The main problem with free-to-play EZAs is just their stats are still pretty low. I mean, I know that's because they have like C grade and B tier stat systems and stats, but yeah, it is a little bit of a bummer that they're just a little bit lower on stats. I think if they could do like a C plus kind of grading, or like a B minus kind of grading for free-to-play units, or a B plus or whatever, just for some of them, just every once in a while you could have a really nice free-to-play option that's like top notch, even like maybe top 10 in its category or something. But yeah, in terms of the Lord Slug, leader skill is an Namekian lead. He gains key in defense, and then he gains an additional 30% or more depending on his health, and he also gains some more depending if he's facing 2 or more enemies. He also has a heal below 30% HP, which is really helpful, and he stuns on a super attack. So overall, he's a pretty good unit. Definitely one that I would suggest having in your lineup. In terms of categories, he's got your stock standard categories. He's got, movie bosses. He's got terrifying conquerors. So there's a lot of options there. His links, decent link set. He's got big bad bosses, which is obviously a major link now. He's got nightmare. He's got a decent collection. Demonic Ways is a like odd link, but it does help him link with this extreme LR from the World Tournament, the Demonic King Piccolo, so he's definitely got options. He's mainly a big buff for the Namekian team. If you have Psy Lord Slug, you can run him with Tech Lord Slug, and it essentially becomes a actually usable Namekian rotation, which is kind of almost impossible to say nowadays. So yeah, Lord Slug, good unit. We'll take a look at Goku now. Goku's pretty similar. He's like the antithesis. So Saiyan lead, pure Saiyan lead, 77%, and strength type 50% lead, which is alright. He, his passive is 77%, and then he gains another 77% if he falls below 77%, and he also gets a big buff if he has a Piccolo on the team. That is good, but it also unfortunately limits his teams. It makes him best on a movie heroes team, which he doesn't really link that great, and it makes him best on a not full power. Well, I'll get there, but yeah, his link set's pretty good. He links decently with the Strength Super Saiyan transforming Goku from the Namek Saga lead, well, at least with his base form. So that's an interesting combo that you might run on the Goku Family Saga or on anything like that. He's got shocking speed, which also is a nice key link to have, and he's got a decent link set, quite a few defensive links, which will help him considering his base defense isn't that low, and obviously when he gets that kick in from being below 77%, any kind of defensive passives will augment that even further, which means he might become a decent last kind of option unit. Pure Saiyans category, there's no Piccolos there. Full power, there's no Piccolos here either. So we're really relying on movie bosses, where we have the movie Piccolo, which is pretty good, a decent AoE option, but it's not the best. And we have the Goku's family, which obviously Piccolo cannot be on. And then we have Final Trump card, where we have the best Piccolo side transforming Piccolo. So we'll try him on a couple teams, but yeah, 2 categories he can meet with Piccolo, which is good. It gives him options, and then yeah, but he is a little bit more limited than Lord Slug. But in another video I'll be displaying and kind of just demoing them. This video is mainly just about how to do the EZA area. But yeah, awesome. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this helped you realize how to EZA Lord Slug and Kaioken Goku. Until the next video, cheers and bye.